Hi everyone. How's everyone doing today? So, I wanted to come on here and talk a little bit more about inspired action because manifestation, it happens, it's real, but it's not going to happen unless you put a little bit of action in. For instance, let's talk about how I manifested my husband. Okay. So, after I had manifest moving to New York from South Philly where everybody told me that I couldn't, but I did. I had manifested my place in Brooklyn and I was living there and I was seeing, lots of guys, but I was really concerned about my career. And everything I did was based on my makeup career and I wanted to make it everything that it was supposed to be and forget everything else. Until one day I realized I was lonely and I really wanted love, and that was the most important of all. For me at the moment, anyway. And I was seeing a lot of guys, nothing was working out. And it was about 6 years I was single. I mean, I was dating a lot of guys. I've had a couple little tiny relationships, but nothing like the big one, nothing like I wanted. I wanted to get married. Um, and I wanted to have a family. I've had kids when I was younger, but my mother and my father helped me raise them. And I really wanted to get the full perspective of being a parent and really, really enjoying it and not having anyone help me. I wanted to do it with me and my husband, but at that point, I didn't think it was possible. And my parents were helping me with my kids I had in my 20s, and, it was hard. And I decided one day that I really wanted to be in love and I was worth it. And that the reason that I wasn't attracting the man of my dreams or my soulmate or my husband all together in one was because I was settling for less and I wasn't putting the work out there, and all the manifestation I was doing in my head and everything I was not putting the work out because I was still dating all these turkeys gobbling around, gobble gobble gobble, and I knew, and it was a waste of my time. So one day I decided I'm going to write down everything on a piece of paper that I want my future husband to be. What he's going to look like, how he's going to act, what he wants in life. And I wrote everything down, I folded it up, and I put it under my pillow. Then I just focused completely on my job and focused on being completely transparent to any guy that I met about what I wanted. And I also decided at that point I was not going to have sex with anyone or give myself up to anyone completely unless I knew he was the man of my dreams. So I wasn't going to go past first base. Sorry, it wasn't happening. Like, to me, the only man that was worthy of me, my whole package, he'd get the goods. So I dated a couple guys and it just was a feeling. It just wasn't working out. I didn't even really kiss them. And I just focused, and I just did not put any of my attention on any person that I did not think was for me. So, for instance, we'd go on a date and take me back to his place, and I know what was in his mind, and I'd have to say, okay, buddy, I'm gone. You and your bed bugs, okay, later. Anyway, I did this until finally one day I was at a party and I met my husband. And there was just something about him. He was really sweet. He came up to me. I don't like guys that are like overly nice because I feel like you could just, walk all over them. And I didn't want that. It had to be a little bit of an assertive man, good looking, not too much about himself, but definitely respected me for me. So I met my husband and it was really sweet. It was really nice. And then he took me for sushi. So while we're eating sushi, we're talking and he's showing me shoes and we're going on and on. And then he walks me home, and I was living in Manhattan. I had manifested my Manhattan apartment at the time on the Upper East Side that nobody told me I could do, working as a freelance artist and living paycheck to paycheck. But I did. And that's another story. But he walks me to my walk up and he walks me to the front. And he says, gives me a kiss, and he says, on my cheek, on my lips, actually, and then, a hug, and, you know what, I'll call you tomorrow. Did not ask to go up, did not ask to use my bathroom, was not slick in any way. And I had asked him, can you call me when you get back? Just because I know that he was driving back to Long Island, which was about 2 hours from where I was, and he drove to see me, which was another big point. So he gave me a kiss, called me when he said he was going to call me, didn't want anything from me but just to be with me. So, I'm like, okay, point number one, point number two, this is looking good. Then, he was on dating sites at the time. So, of course, I was like, let me just see if he's still on. Shut down all his dating sites. Point number three. And, I told him, I'm not going to be giving myself up anytime soon. I'm going to be waiting for Mr. Right. And, you have to have patience. I have to know if you're the one for me. And sure enough, he waited. He would come to my apartment. He would drive 2.5 hours to come see me. And he actually showed me that he really wanted to be with me. Like, he showed me. Like, when a guy really wants to be with you, they're going to be with you. They're going to drive 2 hours. They're going to stay home from work to be. Even called out of work a couple times to be with me. And I'm not saying that, everything's been perfect since then. Everything is a work in progress. But a month later, I go to his house. And again, I was doing the same thing. I did not want to be separated from him. I felt like sick being separated from him. I wanted to be with him 24/7. And I went through snowstorms, and I even asked to leave work early because I didn't want to get stuck in New York City when there was a snowstorm and there was like a foot of snow, just to go with him. And went to his house. We were together for about 2 months, and we had known that was it. Like, that was it. We didn't want to be with anyone else at that point. Then I decided, okay, you can get the goods. After he told me he loved me, and he told me that first on Valentine's Day. But do know this, I put down the rules. I let him know what I was going to accept, what I wasn't going to accept, and I laid down the rules for myself. So to me, it's important that you put out, excuse me, to the universe what it is exactly you want, because the universe is going to give that back to you. And you need to make sure that you're ready. Don't give up on love. Don't give up on what exactly you want, and never settle. Long story short, about a month after that, we became engaged. I didn't have a ring yet. He was going to get it, but he told everybody, I'm going to marry Maria, and this is going to be how it is. I got called to do a movie out in Los Angeles, where we are now, and I asked him to join me, and he did. And we came out here, and it was a week, and we just looked at each other and said, let's just do this. This is one life you get right now, and let's live it for whatever it's worth. And we just decided to elope with the clothes on our back and the bags that we took. And now it's 13 years later, and we're still together. And like I said, it's not perfect, and there's ups and downs, but you have to choose to be with that person. You have to choose to love that person every day, and realize if it gets down, there's going to be ups and downs. But always believe and always know that you're worthy of that love. And never stop until you feel it in your gut. And you will feel it. You will get that feeling that is undescribable. And you will get exactly what you want. You tell them what you want. Don't pussyfoot around it. Don't make pretend that you're... Like, my husband told me he was dating so many girls. Okay, for instance, he asked me to go rock climbing. I'm a tomboy. I don't even know if that's something that you could say anymore, but I was raised with all boys. I am Eagles all the way. I love football. I love softball. I love baseball. I could play any sport. I could climb fences quicker than any dudes. I was the oldest. I'm the one that took care of all my brothers. And he had met me, and he said he was always into working out and always into rock climbing and stuff like that. And I'm from South Philly. The only rock I was climbing was the little tiny rock that was on the concrete floor in front of my face, because there was no rocks to climb. There was gates that I climbed, but that's it. So he said, you want to go rock climbing? And I really wanted to. So I strapped on everything, and I went up huge mountains and belayed all the way down, and I loved every minute of it. And you know what he said to me? He said, what? I can really tell that this is something that you really enjoy, and that's so attractive, because there was a lot of girls that he had dated before me that would just do it just to make him happy, and he could tell. And these girls weren't about it. They were breaking nails. I don't care about nails, if you could see. They were breaking nails. They were crying, and he saw right through that, and they threw themselves at him, and he didn't want any of it. So you need to be true to who you are. Don't make pretend you like something just to be with somebody. Put it out there. Write it down. Write down everything that you want. Put it under your pillow. Say to yourself every day, I have my love. This is my husband. He's coming to me now. Sure enough, 13 years later, 2 kids, living in LA. Still love him. We're still together. So listen to your girl, home slices. Do what I did. Bye.